Hello everyone, hope everyone is doing well and has had a good week. I hope everyone's Pesach preparations are going well. We daven that this upcoming week should be a good week for the entire Jewish people, as we especially daven for all of those in Israel, and even more so, those who are placing themselves in danger, fighting, defending the state, land, and people of Israel. Shabbos should bring blessings and peace and protection to all. This week we begin a new parsha, a new book of the Torah, the book of VaYikra, which is focused, its first parsha is on the karbanos, the different sacrificial offerings and services that would be performed in the Mishkan and later in the Beis HaMikdash. And the very first pasuk of the book, of this entire topic, after the introductory pasuk of God calling Moshe, is Daber el b'nei Yisrael v'amart elehem, speak to Israel and say to them, Adam ki akriv mikem, when a person will offer from amongst you, and then it details if it's this kind of offering, if it's this kind of offering. And the word mikem has bothered our ancient sages throughout all the generations of our commentaries because it is both extra and placed in an awkward position. The Torah could have simply said, Adam ki akriv, when a person will offer karban laHashem, a sacrifice. What does it even mean, Adam ki akriv mikem, karban laHashem, when a person will offer from amongst you? The simple reading is, it's just a awkward phrasing of when a person of you, when a person of the Jewish people that Moshe is speaking to, when you will make an offering, these are the halachas. But that is self-evident, that is obvious. He's talking to the Jewish people. Why mention it at all, and why place it after the word offer, when you will offer mikem? And so many of the commentaries, Rashi quotes this based on a Gemara and a Medrash, that mikem, from amongst you, doesn't mean from amongst you, the people, the individuals, but it means when you will make an offering from amongst you, meaning from something that you own, from an animal that you own. As Rashi says, Ki akriv mishalachem v'lo min hagazel, that you must offer something that is yours and that was not stolen. The Medrash finds additional allusion to this idea by the fact that the Torah uses the word Adam, when in Adam, which just means a person, but it could have said Ish, it could have said Nefesh, it could have omitted entirely and just said Ki Akriv, when a person will offer. And the Medrash says this is an allusion to Adam Harishon, the first person to offer a karban. And when he offered a karban, it was only him and Chava. They owned the entire world, and so by definition, they could not have been offering something stolen that belonged to another human being, because there was no other human being. But the stress is that this opening initial phrase is to say, when you offer a karban to Hashem, it must be yours and not stolen. There, of course, is a principle in general of mitzvah haba ba'aver. You cannot perform a mitzvah by violating a different prohibition of the Torah. But there is special emphasis and extra stringencies around the fact that a karban must belong to you and must not come from stolen property. And according to our sages, this is the very first halacha of all of the halachos of karbanos. The very first thing the Torah wants you to know, the most important idea apparently, is that when you offer a karban to Hashem, it must come from you and not from stolen property. And if this is true for the offering of a karban, that is symbolic, that is a model for our entire avodas Hashem, all the ways that we serve God. We are to serve God from what belongs to us. Hashem wants us to give him something from us. And what is it that we own? What is it that we most primarily, most personally, most intensely own? It's not our property. It is our soul. It is our personality. It is our life experience. It is our unique struggles and achievements. That is what is most ours. And it is from that we are to serve Hashem. Sometimes we may be tempted to imitate others or to see how other people do it. And often that can be sources of inspiration and education. But sometimes we end up mimicking others. And when we do that, when we serve Hashem, do a mitzvah, study Torah, live a certain kind of life because it looks like how others are doing, that is min hagazel, that is offering Hashem, serving him from something which is stolen. Because that's not you, that belongs to that person, that neighbor, that individual. That's how they serve Hashem, but that cannot be the exact same way that I serve Hashem, because then it's not coming from me. At best borrowing and in a sense stealing from someone else. And that is the idea, that is the lesson of the very first halacha that is implicit in the opening pasuk of the karbanos, of how we serve Hashem, what we can give to Hashem. The most important thing is Adam ki akriv mikam. It has to come from you. It has to come from us. It has to come from me. I have to serve Hashem in the unique way that only I can, and that is what Hashem will most cherish. May we all find the unique way to serve Hashem that only we can, for that is what brings nachas ruach, a reach nichach to Hashem. It is the way that we find the most deep and profound and powerful connection to Hashem and fulfillment. May we all be blessed to fulfill this pasuk, Adam ki akriv mikam. Everyone should have a wonderful Shabbos, good Shabbos, and Shabbat Shalom.